If you're new to Bitcoin, you might have initially thought of traditional mining when you first heard about Bitcoin mining. However, the reality is quite different. Let's take a closer look at what Bitcoin mining really entails and why it's crucial for the functioning and security of Bitcoin. First, a quick recap on how Bitcoin works and where mining comes into the picture. How does Bitcoin work? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that operates on a decentralized blockchain powered by globally distributed nodes. Whenever a transaction is made, specialized nodes called miners are responsible for validating and grouping multiple transactions together into a block, which is then cryptographically linked to the block before it, hence the term blockchain. The miner who successfully adds the block is then rewarded some Bitcoin for their work. Therefore, mining is the process by which new blocks are added onto the blockchain, and is also how new Bitcoin enters into circulation via the block reward awarded to miners. But how does mining actually work? Now, let's see that in detail. How does mining Bitcoin actually work? In simple terms, mining is about solving complex mathematical puzzles. But it's more accurate to call it a lottery, as miners are actually guessing the right number to win the block reward. To understand this analogy, I will tell you the mining process in more detail. Each block contains a block header, which contains data such as a timestamp, a reference to the previous block, and a number called a nonce. Miners would guess a nonce, which could be any number really, then put that along with all the data in the block header through a cryptographic hash function to create a hash. In cryptography, a hash is simply a string of characters of a fixed length created by putting data through a mathematical function and is easy for a computer to do. The real work in mining thus comes from the sheer number of guessing and hashing needed to reach a valid output. For reference, the current Bitcoin network hash rate is over 500 EH per second, which is an astronomical figure. So why is it so difficult to guess the correct nonce? Or why is mining so difficult? Well, the thing is that roughly every 2 weeks, the Bitcoin network sets a target hash and will only accept output hashes that are equal or smaller in value than the target hash. That may sound counterintuitive, but imagine having to roll a 1,000-sided dice. It would be more difficult to have to roll a number smaller than 10, say 250. The target hash thus determines the Bitcoin network's difficulty. The higher the difficulty, the more guesses are needed on average for a miner to find the correct nonce. The first miner to output a valid hash successfully mines the block and wins the reward, and the guessing game starts all over again. This difficulty imposed on miners would also adjust up or down automatically, based on factors such as total network hash rate and miner participation. For example, if more miners join and the network hash rate increases, the average time needed to find the valid hash would be reduced, as there would be more computational power put into the guessing game. The difficulty would then be adjusted upwards. The reason the Bitcoin network does this is to ensure that new blocks and new Bitcoins are created roughly every 10 minutes on average, in accordance with its programmed issuance schedule. Proof of work in mining. So, mining is essentially a guessing game. But why this seemingly random task? This mechanism, aka proof of work, ensures that miners have verifiably expended some effort and cost in order to mine a block. In this case, computational power and electricity. Therefore, aside from adding blocks and issuing new Bitcoin, proof of work helps ensure the security of the network. As more participants join and the value of the Bitcoin network increases, it becomes increasingly more difficult and expensive to attempt fraudulent transactions or tamper with the blockchain. So that's how it works. I hope you found the video educative, and if you enjoyed watching it, you know what to do. Like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.